is it at all possible that the Lord of Majesty, who does everything with endless wisdom, would not bring the hereafter, would not bestow favors on believers who take refuge in Him, and would make His endless wisdom be denied, and would reduce that endless wisdom to nothing? Definitely not. We will explain this proof under two headings. Wisdom means to take care of the benefits while doing something, not to do anything absurd, to make everything carry out some duties. The opposite of wisdom is waste and absurdity. There is no waste and absurdity in any place of this universe. Endless wisdom is seen everywhere. Let us meditate on the wisdom in the universe a bit, and see the doer of that wisdom. If this realm is observed carefully, it will be seen that the one who rules this realm does everything with endless wisdom. Do you want proof of it? It is to take interests and benefits into consideration in everything. For example, there are benefits and wisdom in all of the organs, bones, and blood vessels, and even in the cells of man, everywhere and in every part. Some organs have as many uses and benefits as the fruits of a tree. This situation proves that endless wisdom carries out these things. The fact that there exists an endless regularity in the making of everything proves that these things are carried out by endless wisdom. To record the fine program of a nice flower in its tiny seed, to record the pages, life story, and parts of a tree in the tiny seed with a spiritual pen, prove that endless wisdom carries out these things. The existence of a very nice art in the creation of everything shows the existence of the embroidery of a fully wise artist. To put the index of the universe, the keys of all of the treasures of mercy, the mirrors of all beautiful names in the small human body, definitely shows the endless wisdom. It is probably unnecessary to try to prove the wisdom in this realm. Each branch of science mentions this wisdom through its own tongue, and the topic of each science is the wisdom itself. Therefore, we do not want to say anything else in order to explain the wisdom in the universe and move to the answer to this question. Who is the wise being that owns this wisdom? Who included so many useful properties in things? Who does not let any absurdity in any place of this realm? Who ensured the uses and benefits in everything, from the human organs to the stars in the sky? Who is the wise being that does not waste anything in this realm? Who equipped everything with wisdom in the form of embroideries? Is the only answer to be given to those questions not God? Let alone explaining the wisdom in the universe with coincidences. Can only the wisdom in the body of a fly be explained by coincidence? Yes, there is a purpose, aim, benefit, and result in every being that has been created in this realm, peculiar to itself, that is maintained. Nothing that can be regarded as absurdity, purposelessness, meaninglessness, and waste is observed in any of the beings. It is impossible for senseless and unconscious causes to take care of those purposes and aims on their own, and to create things with wisdom like that. Then this situation proves that there is a wise being behind the curtain who creates things with wisdom. Suppose that you have a big sugar factory. You bring the sugar beets you collect from the field to the factory, process them, and produce sugar in the end. Then you work hard and load the sugar on trucks. Would you throw the sugar into the sea after so much hard work and so many wise processes? Definitely not. If you wanted to throw it into the sea, you would not construct a factory, would not collect sugar beets from the field, would not process them, and would not load the sugar onto trucks. Your above-mentioned deeds prove that you will not throw the sugar into the sea. Similarly, God Almighty created the factory of the world by making a lot of expenses. He created thousands of wisdom in each stone of the world. If the hereafter does not occur, and if the fruits of this factory do not appear in the market of the hereafter, there will be endless waste. Is it possible for God, who equipped the wing of a fly with tens of wisdom, to let such waste and absurdity by not bringing the hereafter? Definitely not. If he wanted to let it, he would not have created this realm with wisdom and would not have given importance to it. That is, to claim that the hereafter will not occur is like denying the wisdom that our eyes see, because not to bring the hereafter is complete absurdity, and it means to let this realm be transformed into absurdity and waste. The Lord of Majesty, who is the owner of endless wisdom, with the witnessing of the wisdom in front of our eyes, is free and away from such absurdity. Is it at all possible for God to show that He owns wisdom by equipping every living being with wisdom and benefits that are as many as the fruits of a tree, and then to reduce everything to absurdity by not introducing the eternity and the endless bliss, which is the greatest wisdom, the most important benefit, the most essential result, and which makes wisdom the real wisdom, bounties the real bounties, and mercy the real mercy, and which is the source of all wisdom, bounties, mercy, and benefits? Is it possible for him to build palaces with stones of thousands of embroideries, and to put thousands of valuable devices and materials in each room, and not to cover that palace with a roof, and to let everything rust and decay? Definitely not. If the hereafter does not occur, it means this world has no roof, and the wise productions and activities within it have no value at all. Is it reasonable for God to give man and his feelings as many duties and wisdom as the number of hairs on his head, and then give him a small worldly wage like a single hair, and do something that is contrary to his wisdom, and something that is meaningless? A generous person grants people things. A nice person does nice things. Similarly, a wise person does wise things. A person who has wisdom will not do absurd things. God has endless wisdom. If he does not bring the hereafter, all of his deeds will be transformed into absurdity. It is impossible to think of something like that for God. The non-existence of the hereafter is like equipping a small stone with wisdom and purposes like a huge mountain, and equipping a huge mountain with a small temporary purpose. No mind and wisdom will accept it. Let us see the proof of wisdom from the point of view of our feelings. Each one of the apparent and internal feelings in man is more valuable than this world. Man will not exchange his hearing, sight, mind, memory, love, or any other feeling with the sultanate in the world, or even with paradise. Suppose that someone said to us, "Give your mind to us. We will give you paradise," or "Give me your memory and enter paradise." Would we sell our mind and memory in return for paradise? Definitely not. If a person did not have his mind or memory, it would be impossible for him to enjoy paradise. Then we can say that some organs of us are more valuable and more expensive than paradise. This situation proves that the organs and feelings of man were not created only for the tiny issues of this world. Those organs, equipped with endless wisdom, cannot have been given for this short life only. So many expenses are not for this short life. To claim that those expensive devices were given to man only for this short life can only be possible through denying the wisdom in this realm and denying the being who is the owner of this wisdom. In this case, every creature which has been created with wisdom will point at the eye of that person with its finger and say, "The artist of this realm, who has endless wisdom, will not make so many expenses and waste only for a short life. You commit a great murder through your unbelief and virtually say with your denial, everything is meaningless and absurd in this world. Look how you attack the wisdom of that being and accuse that being of wasting. That being is free and away from your accusation. He is Al-Hakim, the All-Wise, with the witnessing of the wisdom in us, and He will create the hereafter due to His wisdom. If you made a tree with leaves, each of which is worth 50,000 lira, would you let sheep eat those leaves? You most certainly would not. You would not work so hard and meticulously for that tree if you were going to let them. The reason why you made that tree was to prove your keenness on art. Letting the sheep eat those leaves is absurdity and artlessness. The attributes of wisdom and keenness on art in you will definitely not let something absurd. Similarly, man is like a tree with leaves, each of which is worth 50,000 lira. As we have explained, the organs of man that are like the leaves of that tree are more valuable than 50,000 lira, and even than paradise. God Almighty, who has endless wisdom, will not let the tree of man be food for the worms, lie in the grave, decay, and not resurrect. We can also look at the proof of wisdom through this window of the feelings. Suppose that you saw a very big fish in a pool. You would realize that it did not belong to that pool, but to a sea much bigger than the pool. Similarly, the talents and feelings of man do not fit into this world. The pool of this world does not satisfy man. Then the fish of man is a candidate for another sea, and that sea is the hereafter. If we compare the scales like the mind, memory, tongue, ear in man, with the things that they weigh, we will see that the scales are more valuable. That is, those scales were not given to us just to earn things in this ephemeral world. To claim the opposite is only possible through denying the wisdom that is in front of us. No sane person will do it. Another aspect of the wisdom that necessitates the hereafter is as follows. The wisdom that is absolutely wise in his lordship and administration would definitely want to bestow favors on those who take refuge in his wing of lordship. Believe in him and obey him. The wisdom of endless sovereignty wants us to protect and bestow favors on those who take refuge in him. The wisdom of endless sovereignty can only be maintained like that. However, not 1 in 1,000 or even 1 in 1,000,000 of those bestowals is seen in this world. That is, there is another realm, and the grants and bestowals are left to that realm. It is not possible to deny it. It is not possible to deny the visible wisdom that is dominant either. Let us meditate the proof of wisdom again in the form of items. 1. There is a purpose, aim, benefit, and result in every being that has been created in this realm peculiar to itself that is maintained. Nothing that can be regarded as absurdity, purposelessness, meaninglessness, and waste is observed in any of the beings. That is, there exists endless wisdom in the universe, and every branch of science is a witness for that wisdom. 2. Doubtlessly, it is impossible for senseless and unconscious causes to take care of those purposes and aims on their own, and to create things with wisdom like that. Then this situation proves that there is a wise being behind the curtain who creates things with wisdom. 3. Wisdom can be real wisdom, and it will not be transformed into waste and absurdity only if the hereafter occurs. If the hereafter does not occur, the wisdom will be transformed into waste and absurdity. 4. The wisdom that is absolutely wise in his lordship and administration would definitely want to bestow favors on those who take refuge in his wing of lordship, believe in him, and obey him. The wisdom that is absolutely wise wants to protect and bestow favors on those who take refuge in him. However, there are no bestowals and grants like that in this world. It means they are left to another realm. 5. Therefore, to deny the hereafter is only possible through denying the name of Al-Hakim, of God Almighty. To deny the name Al-Hakim can only be possible through denying the wisdom that is seen everywhere in the universe and that encompasses everything. It is not possible for sane people. Besides, we do not address those who remove and discard their minds. In short, that the hereafter will occur is as obvious and clear as the wisdom that we see in front of our eyes. The only thing that will make wisdom the real wisdom and that will prevent it from being transformed into waste is the occurrence of the hereafter.